Thank you, Luca. Yes. Thank you, Bruno, for making the stage and freshen up this sleepy afternoon session. It's called the graveyard session also. My name is Robby Schwertner. I am in the blockchain sphere since 2016-17. I'm coming from industry. I was engineer, head of the Austrian research program, worked for the Austrian government for industry, and entered the blockchain sphere in 2016-17 when we had first research proposals in the energy field where we had to decide, can government money be used for blockchain projects? And the only blockchain project there was the first was a Bitcoin blockchain, the second one was the Ethereum blockchain. So we had to decide whether we fund research proposals in the energy field. So I entered through the energy door, not so much to the money door. And I was so excited about blockchain technology that I decided I, of course, want to learn more, want to understand, and of course supported a lot of startups. I left the government, created my own company, Innomagic, created a brand, Crypto Robby, which first was a pseudonym. It was I had to hide a bit because I blogged a lot about blockchain issues. So I didn't want that the government officials know. And came out with it. And Crypto Robby became a brand well known on LinkedIn in 17-18, and it's still in Austria, where I'm from at least, is. Let me tell you this, we don't have to be depressed now because it's crypto winter. When we look at the statistics, this State of Crypto report of 23, which is quite excellent, by the way, it's of a16zcrypto.com, there you see active addresses increase, and that's the Web3, which really makes it obviously possible that we see attraction in that field. We see an increased number of addresses. So although maybe prices are still staggering and getting stuck, we see a rising there. Also, crypto academic research is increasing. We see a lot of new publications coming up, so the research is going on. But most of all, where I see a field which, as an engineer, I see the connection between blockchain projects, and here outside you see a lot of software-based blockchain projects. What I miss, and that's the next 10-15 minutes I will talk about, what I miss is the link between physical objects and digital objects. We are still in the very, very beginning of linking blockchain technology as a software database technology with physical objects. That's a big lag, and I want to show you some examples which I made because I also founded a consultancy company for blockchain technology, and we did some projects which you don't find in the internet. For instance, we in the mobility sector, we had a consultancy project with a large road tolling infrastructure provider. What they do, they toll trucks, for instance, in Germany, international. They are one of the leaders, and they had to explore how could blockchain technology be used. And they're talking about 2018, 1920. They started exploring, and with that, proof of concept, for instance, have been evaluated. For instance, platooning. You ever heard about platooning? Yeah, platooning. It's when you link in a digital way, trucks, machines, let's say machines. You can link trucks. The idea is that the first truck, again, back to the sound, the first truck is steering a kind of train, and the others are linked in a digital way. So what we have here is we have physical objects linked in a way. The proof of concept was based on Ethereum that the truck driver of the first truck gets paid and the others can sleep. And we have a lack of truck drivers. We have a lack of also experienced people. So they get the ones at the back pay the first driver in order to sleep, and you see the picture is from Volvo Trucks. At the moment, you can link those trucks with 1 meter. Of course, there are limitations. It can only be in very regulated infrastructure, like a highway. You cannot do that in central Warsaw, for instance. That wouldn't work. But for so you see, Blockchain meets machines. That's what I want to see. For instance, the other road tolling. Road tolling is when you have a car passing through tolling stations, and then you have a technology to link the car with the toll infrastructure, not the mobile phone, not an online service, but the car itself. That what has been checked, of course, in Portugal. And of course, the last, of course, the boost tolling is also from Jaguar, for instance, an example. What I want to give you an example. I'm an engineer. You see, in the mobility sector, there's a lot possible. The same, of course, for other industries, be it real estate, energy. We did that there. I focus today on the mobility, but it would give you some examples. There's a tractor company. They also implement a wallet linked to the machine, yeah. And in order to and they have tractors. They drive through very actually easy ground, yeah, because there are no pedestrians on a crop field. They just can drive anywhere. They are steered autonomously often already. So a blockchain link is very important, and that's where these Phygitals come, linking a physical world with the digital blockchain-based world. Of course, what's necessary is you see on the very right side, you see a Daimler Chrysler developed something already which is necessary, is a car wallet. You need a car wallet, not a mobile phone wallet, but a car wallet. They are linked with the CAN bus system, the electronics of the car, that you can directly have access to data of the car, put to the wallet, and then link to the blockchain. Again, we miss infrastructure and physical objects linked directly to the blockchains. Our phones still put the pictures, for instance, we make here now, the videos, on a server. And that's not peer-to-peer yet. It doesn't go to my direct wallet where I own the stuff, but it goes to Google, you name it, Amazon browser, and so on, you name it. What I want to say is, we need solutions in order to reach a next level. And the next level is a project which has been realized in a hackathon in Munich recently. It is where you have machine-machine negotiation. Just imagine, you see the cars on the very right side. Let's imagine these machines have all wallets, and that's what has been already realized and tried out. It works, actually. One car wants to be faster. It's a machine, yeah? The car wants to be faster, and then it says, okay, I pay the front man, the car in front of me, I pay some sum, and then it let me pass, yeah? So it's machine-to-machine negotiations, which we'll see much more in. So when you're in a business, or at least when you have an idea what to do, it's interesting to have this machine-to-machine approach. It's, of course, sounds crazy, but that's what we in future have. In hundreds of years, people will ask us, how could you live in a place where one car doesn't know where the other is? Because that's what we are in. We are living in an age where one machine, one mobile phone doesn't know where the next is. One device, one screen. We are living in the medieval. And here you see, it's the very beginning of a long story, which is developed, and what we call, of course, is the metaverse and the link between a digital world and a physical object world. I'm also in Austria collecting projects. I started in 2017 with an Excel sheet of what is going on in Austria. Some examples I want to tell, because they are also Phygitals. It's the Austrian Post, a very conservative company, started with a blockchain application, a crypto stamp, very early in 2019. They were the first internationally there, and they have physical stamps linked on blockchain and linked to both, linked to this digital stamp. Of course, one can question, is it really necessary and so on? Interesting question, maybe not, but at least there are a lot of people who collect stamps, also not necessary, but this was a big marketing success, at least. A very conservative technology like collecting stamps linked to 21st century technology, blockchain. Worked well. It's a learning, it's an experience. Another project was by two ladies, it's Jewels, also an Austrian-Slovak project from Slovakia. They did jewels.com. digital jewelry, and also physical objects linked. And of course, in the Corona time, this went off like crazy. They made it to the New York Times and so on, because jewelry in a digital way with Zoom conferences, that's where you can show off. It's a market. It's interesting, obviously. Another one, of course, is quite new, is the NF sneakers.cx. It's a sneakers collection. What they do, also physical objects, physical sneakers, linking with real digital blockchain-based NFT sneakers. So that's maybe where the business is. We do a lot of consultancy to large companies. I cannot talk about it so much because I've fat NDAs signed to not talk about it. But at least their direction goes everywhere, that we have companies who sell physical products, maybe in future will sell digital products. And they need blockchain technology for it, because only that way you earn the stuff. One interesting project is Lola, is movieshots.io. They NFTize shots of a movie. A movie is still in the technology not digital yet. It's still a mixture of physical movie making and digital movie making. They NFTize shots, so the one screenshot and then the second, and one can own a piece of a movie. Sounds not so interesting, but when one thinks maybe future movies are recorded or broadcast over the metaverse in a whatever, in a Decentraland world or Fortnite, and you own part of it, then you can also create revenue. It's a new form of movie investment, movie industry investment, supporting artists, maybe not only from Hollywood, but from private crowd-funded approach. I told you I started with an Excel sheet in 2017-18 on Austrian blockchain projects. We have now released 8th of May, 2 weeks ago, the Austrian blockchain landscape. Yes, you can see that's the link. It's on cryptorobby.com. You can read properly. Cryptorobby.com, you find it also there. And this blockchain landscape is maybe interesting in a way that it gives a picture of what's there. We have around 210 organizations, and Bitpanda, you may know, is our first Austrian unicorn. A crypto company, exchange. That's interesting. Yeah, the first unicorn in Austria is Bitpanda. Yeah, the next is another one, but that we are proud of, that this sector can succeed, of course. One project I would like to emphasize, it's LimeWire. You find it in the NFT section. LimeWire, day before yesterday, they launched a token, gained 16 million US dollar in the bear market crypto winter, limewire.com. It's a project. LimeWire was a MP3 exchange project. They bought the brand and built now an NFT-based system for exchanging music, movies, podcasts even, for influencers, but also content creators. So just to give an overview, of course, 210 I cannot speak about, but Bitpanda is definitely outstanding, and LimeWire. And then we have some companies, of course, who create already Phygitals, who go into that market. Speaking about Phygitals, it's very much linked to the metaverse. The metaverse itself, we have heard this many. I will not repeat much, but it's based on the Snow Crash roman. Snow Crash is a kind of drug, yeah, in this roman, in this story. And on the TY, yeah, on the right side, TY, this young skateboarder girl, she of course tries to save the world together with the hero protagonist from different things. And they live in a metaverse. And this roman has been written in 1992, so it's really old. But the ideas from there are really quite impressive. First, the word metaverse has been written there. By the way, there's a Polish language original on YouTube if you're too lazy to read the Roman. the metaverse word was created there. Avatars have been mentioned already there. Hyperinflation, rings a bell? Hyperinflation has been mentioned there in this Roman. We see cryptocurrencies mentioned there. 1992, it was still a long way to go for the first Bitcoin to be minted. So it's a very, from science fiction we can learn. And what I learn is that in there, they show skateboards, for instance, in the metaverse with different capabilities. The superpower skateboard, which is more expensive in colored version, and then there is the simple black and white version with less functions. And also there is a physical object, a skateboard, which is linked to the metaverse. So you can feel it, and you can also experience it. And experience is one of the major features of the metaverse. When we talk about the metaverse, we shall always remind ourselves what are the features. It never ends. Yeah? And just imagine the first examples when we have these mobility examples. It never ends. You know, the cars still keep moving, they park, but they still live somewhere at the place and shall be in a digital world also put there. It's real time. The numbers of participants are unlimited, usually in the metaverse. And the metaverse has its own business ecosystem. And when we talk about metaverse, we now have it has already a connotation, a quite bad connotation. Why do we need this and so on? And that reminds me very much to the beginning of the internet, where somebody said, "Okay, why do we need stream TV program via the computer? We have the TV sets." And these arguments also apply to the metaverse now. Because the metaverse, I think, will be a future digital world where we build our physical world inside. And I think we could also have our own metaverses. My vision is that there will be one big metaverse or decentraland be it, but everybody can build its own metaverse, like we build our own websites. Yeah? I have my cryptorobby.com website. In future, I will have my CryptoRobby XYZ metaverse world, where I have a room where I can meet visitors, where I have a room where I do the business, where a room I show my last recipes for cooking, and so on. I will have rooms, and I can enter there. And that's, if you look at the 5, 6, 7 features of the number 5, 6, 7 of the metaverse, I think the link between physical and virtual world is what makes the metaverse the metaverse. Before that, if you talk about virtual worlds, it's only digital, no link to the real world. The metaverse is the link, and that's often important. That's when we had these industry engineering cases. We link physical objects to the virtual world. And of course, a feature is the objects can be used across the world. We cannot do that now. Yeah, I cannot use my Decentraland slippers. I bought slippers there, digital slippers, NFTs. I cannot use them in Sandbox, or it's hard still to cross these metaverses. In future, I think this will be possible. And experience plays a major role. We'll have new experience. It feels different. I'm also actor by profession. As an actor, you often jump into different roles. You're sad, you're strong, you're a soldier, you're whatever. You're an old person, yeah? You feel by moving, and that's the metaverse. With the metaverse, we can feel different things, but still we miss devices. We lack devices. That's very sad. But also that's a big opportunity, because here, when you make people feel like a jacket, like a shoes, yeah, our shoes, they don't know I'm here because they have no chip inside. They are still very dead objects, but in 100 years, people will say, how can you have these shoes? Yeah, they have no chip, they are not electronic, they're just physical objects. How can that be? Crazy, huh? Interesting. Anyway, when we look at large companies, for instance, McDonald's and also Red Bull, they already found, of course, that it's maybe worth having a look. Probably Red Bull in the future will sell more drinks, you know, in the digital world than in the physical world, because the physical world is limited. You cannot sell more than, you know, how many Red Bull can you drink a day? It's limited to a certain amount. In the digital world, even avatars, for instance, could drink. get wings, yeah, are ready to fly. So the patents and trademark applications are quite interesting to see. Having said that, I want to also close by what do we in Austria? We have a Block and Start venture fund, not venture fund, it's a very early stage project support fund where we support super early stage projects in the Web3 and blockchain sphere, also NFT projects welcome. It's 25,000 euro for a project support for before it really gets started with the company and investors jump in. We run the blockandwine.com meetup in Vienna and in Belgrade, also maybe in future in Warsaw. We'll see that. We have talks already. I am very much in favor of the return on society hashtag because I think we need projects which have a return on society and added value to society. Getting rich fast is possible, but maybe doing something useful makes, to my opinion, more sense. And that was also interesting to the British Parliament. They invited me some years ago to speak about this return on society, my approach to projects when I support it. You find me on LinkedIn, on cryptorobby.com. Thank you very much. And don't forget, blockchain is just the software part. We need the physical objects to link. It's such a pity we missed that. I keep that in mind, and I wish you a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.